Hi my friends, it's Kaylin here at Full Purpose and Heart, and it is time for another video. There are not enough hours in the day for me to get all the things done that I need to on the home front and for all of my little side businesses that I run and make these delightful YouTube videos for y'all to catch up on our homeschool life. So here we are, we've finished, we've just started week 20 this week, so I can't remember where I left off, but I think we're maybe 17 through 20 or so. So anyway, if you're interested in an update of our homeschool life, then stay tuned. So if you have watched my channel much at all, then you might have catched on to the idea that I have a bit of a problem, and that is curriculum. We have been changing curriculum like crazy people this year, and I think part of the reason is because I decided to discontinue our Horizons curriculum for our English unit or our English subject. And I think that because I no longer have that boxed curriculum set or that published set, that I'm kind of constantly scrambling or looking for something that's better or supplementing. Anyway, I think that that's probably why I've been switching up our curriculum so much this year or adding to it or taking away from it, because I just haven't had that consistent purchased curriculum unit or subject. So if you're wondering why, or if you're hearing my updates and you're thinking to yourself, I don't think I could ever do homeschool because look at how much she is switching and changing, and I don't know that much about homeschool or curriculum to switch and change, find some peace in knowing that our problem is that we didn't stick with our purchased curriculum set at the beginning of the school year. I had started using Horizons. I'm no longer using it for our English subject, and that's why I think I've been pulling from so many other resources. That being said, there are some phenomenal resources out there, and this year I have really latched on to Evan Moor Publishing Company and their vast variety and exceptional products and curriculum units that I can pull from to try and build an English forum for my son. So I have gone back to Evan Moor Publishing and I have purchased another curriculum set. Now, you'll have to go back because the last videos that I posted were look in the books for two Evan Moor books that I am using with my son. One is a science one that we're going to be using in January when we start the new school year, or new year, not school year, anyway. And then the other one is the Spell and Write that I started him on a couple weeks ago, and I'll touch on that in just a minute. So I have 3 new books that I'm going to kind of cover in this video, and I'll show you. And then I'll do another look in the book here in a couple of weeks to try and let you see more into what these books look like if you're interested in looking at that. So let me go down the list. I have my handy dandy clipboard with my son's checklist. Let me touch on this really quick. My son is in 1st grade, and he doesn't really check these boxes off like I want him to do. At the end of every week, I go through and check off all of these boxes when I'm correcting his work and making sure he's done it well. So I do have a stack of these pages for all of the weeks of school that we have been doing, but most of them, all of them, are just check boxes that I have been doing. The bottom here, I just have some daily habits and personal growth check boxes. Again, these are things that I discuss with him at the end of the school week, and we fill those check boxes off at the end of the school week. It's not ideal. It's not how I plan to do it. So hopefully when we begin 2nd grade next year, he will be more independent in being able to check off these boxes. He is very independent in actually getting his work done because of the binder that I've been using. So if you didn't watch these videos of how I set up our school year, I'll try and link that in the description or in the eye in the sky up here so that you can reference back to that video. But it really has been working, and my son is quite independent in his schoolwork, which is super helpful because I have my preschool kids that come 3 times a week, as well as just mom jobs that I'm trying to get done while he does his schoolwork. So we're all in the same room, but but he can focus on getting his work done and I'm close by to answer questions. So this method really has been excellent, and I plan to continue it in January when we start our new school year. As far as subject matter, we are still using Explode the Code. He has almost finished book 2, and we are jumping into book 4 come January. So I've skipped book 3 entirely because I think book 2 has been pretty easy for him. So we're going to jump to book 4, which starts with compound words. So I think that'll be good because we are doing that as first graders. So the second book that I've been using, I started this Evan Moor Spell and Write book. I talked about it a little bit in my last update video, and I also did a look in the book for this product, and it is everything that I want it to be. It's really fantastic. The activities are really good. The stories, you know, they have little stories that they read. Anyway, it's been really phenomenal. And when I discussed it a little bit before, we actually just continue through the lessons one day at a time. So he does 1 page a day, and we're still trying to work on what is a complete sentence. He's very hesitant to write more than 2 words. If he can do it in 2 words or less, that's pretty much where we're at right now. So I need to be more one-on-one with him to try and get him to write more than 1 or 2 words. But for the most part, he does a really good job, and the activity is really good. It practices handwriting, it practices spelling, it practices language, so periods and capitalization and that sort of thing. So I've really been satisfied with this Evan Moor product. I'll put a link in the description box below if you want to head over there and check that out. Math, we're still using Horizons curriculum for math, and I love it. I've been kind of beginning my research for our curriculums for next school year, and Horizons Math is at the top of our list for our math subject because I've been so satisfied with it. And I'm especially happy now because as we roll into our Christmas break, he has some really good review pages, but it's not heavy new learning, so he completes his lessons really quickly, which makes everyone happy because we're trying to push through till our Christmas break. So that's been really good. Handwriting, we are still using A Reason for Handwriting. I'm not sure that we're utilizing it to its full potential because he practices the letters, which is like day 1 lesson. He writes each of his letters like 1 or 2 times. I could encourage him to write them more. I just don't. So each of the lessons 2 and 3, he just writes the word that he's practicing that day 1 time for each one. So, and then lesson 4, he just traces it, but he hasn't gone to actually rewrite the verse on the like cute page that they have. So I feel like we're not using it till it's to its full potential, but the purpose of it was for him to practice that letter formation because I feel like, especially as a first grader, they're still trying to make sure that their letters are formed correctly, that the J has a tail, and you know, a lot of his letters that have tails, he sometimes doesn't get them below the line and that sort of kind of stuff. So I think that it's a good product and a decent investment, but I don't think that we in our homeschool are using it to its full potential. If I were a little more, I don't know, if I were a better mediator, then I would make sure that he practiced each of those lessons more than just the bare minimum. So that's where we are with our handwriting. The reading pages, we're still using the same curriculum that I bought at the beginning of the year, which is a Teachers Pay Teachers unit. And so he reads a little story and answers some questions, and then he has 2 additional activities that we complete during the week. One, well, they're just kind of all different kinds of reading, story elements, inferring, story comprehension. What's the one where you put the story in order? Anyway, so it's been really a good resource, and he goes through it really fast, so that's been good. Geography is going to switch up here in January, so I'll mention that now. This is one of the new products that I got from Evan Moor. This is beginning geography for kindergarten through 2nd grade. The one that he's doing right now is daily geography for 1st grade. And it really has, we started it in July, so we've been doing it for 20 weeks, and it really is getting to a point where it's too basic. He does it very, very quickly, and it's almost more of a busy work assignment than it is a practice assignment, which is why I was like, you know what, we're not going to continue this busy work, which is very repetitive study, and I'm going to just bump him up a notch. So I grabbed this beginning geography unit, which is a little bit different in that it's more specific in what it's talking about. So, well, I don't know if I can show you an example because you don't have something else to look at. But anyway, so they just have different questions, and like this is talking more about lakes specifically, and landforms and bodies of water and all that kind of good stuff. So it is a little bit more advanced. It also comes with a map, so which has two sides. One of it is the continents, and the other one is landforms. So I think that this is going to be a good step up, a very gentle step up, and we will continue doing geography every day using this resource instead of the daily geography resource. Our history has been excellent. I still am using the curriculum Heritage Studies 1. It's published by BJU Press or Bob Jones University, and I've built out that curriculum for myself using their teacher's manual. So I'm going to show you how I do that in an upcoming video because I know that some of you might be a little bit confused or don't have lesson planning experience from a teacher's manual. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that so that you can kind of review how I do it and maybe modify it and adapt it to yourself so that you can build stuff like this. But anyway, so right now we're doing Native American studies. I built a lap book for him. We've just barely started it. So we've done the Plains Indians. That's these 4 questions here. And then we talked about regions. We did the regions first and then talked about the Plain Indians. So we have several other Indian groups that we're going to talk about. Native American groups. Don't judge me. Anyway, and then on the back here, he has his KWL chart. And then a little bit later, there's another page as a part of the unit. Oh, just kidding. I put it on the back. This is at the very end. We're going to write down some things about each of the Native American tribes that we learned during the unit. So this has been a really kind of fun, although each chapter has like a craft activity that we're doing. Did I bring it in here? Oh, it's right. Nope, I didn't bring it in here. Oh, yes, I did. So like for the Plains Indians, we made teepees. There were sticks that were coming out of it, but they fell out because I just used tape. But anyway, so we made teepees. This is scrapbook paper. My kids chose which one they wanted. That's why it looks like Halloween. Anyway, so when we talked about the Plain Indians, we did that. So we'd have, we make some pottery or whatever with some like salt dough. We make with, that's when we do the Southwest Indian tribes. We're gonna do the make totem poles when we do the Northwest, and then there's one more that I can't remember what the craft is. But anyway, so each of the Native American tribes in each of the regions has a craft. So it's a little more labor intensive and I don't get through it as quickly. So I'm doing it 1 per week. Hopefully we're going to finish before the end of Christmas so that when we start the new year, then we'll be doing exploration with Christopher Columbus and all that, the Mayflower and all that kind of beginning stuff. So I think that is where we are. We finished reading our read aloud, which was Winn-Dixie. So I really should pick up a read aloud that's kind of holiday themed, Christmas themed, but I haven't done it. Cameron's going to start, my son, my first grader, is going to start his own read alouds or his own private reading out of chapter books come January. So I'm excited to get him started on that. We did do like a little Christmas unit. I'll show you really quick in our Christmas Around the World study. So this was the Legend of the Poinsettia, and it takes place in Mexico, and it's a really great story. So we read this a couple of times. I did this with my preschoolers actually. So my first grader kind of tagged along because it's great for him too. Anyway, we made these really cute little nativities. So we colored it blue and then put the little nativity people inside. We painted the outside, and then I had these poinsettias pre-cut, so they just glued them on, and then with a little yellow paint, I put the little yellow centers, and then a little ribbon on the top so that it makes kind of a little cute ornament. So anyway, that was just a fun little activity that the kids really enjoyed, and it turned out really cute. So anyway, that's the update. just kind of as a personal note, that my life has gotten really crazy, so my YouTube videos have kind of been put on the back burner. I do have several videos in the lineup that I am trying to get done and have them posted in a semi-regular schedule, but I have a really big, exciting project that I've been working on, and we're launching it in January, and it's going to be everything that I've ever wanted this YouTube channel to be, and it's going to be live. So I'm super excited about it, and all of the people that are coming from far and wide to kind of make it happen and make it work for me. So I'm super excited about that project. Anyway, so lots of different things have been going on, and it's a good thing that I've, you know, got my energy and my discipline and motivation, because things are crazy over here on our side of the mountain. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this update video. If you have just subscribed to my channel or you're new here, I welcome you. I do have lots of videos that have to do with homeschooling and how to get your year started, and encouragement and ideas of how to school your children at home, even if you're not a homeschooler. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we hope to catch you in another video.